Hello guys, how you doing? It's me, Jack, mate, and welcome back. I'm here with Stevie, white.
I'm too hot to even react.
Duty, right, no.
That just ends with no.
Duty, right, no. I don't know.
Duty, right, no. Maybe. Let us know in the comments if you like that. Don't.
But yes, I am here.
How are you?
Not too... Oh, sorry.
The swelter. Like how he looks at me.
It's fucking too much.
This is a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
We moan every week about the heat in here, but oh my God, this is another level.
This is we're actually recording this Thursday the 25th, sorry, which is arguably the hottest day in 125 years.
Yes.
So,
and outside is most definitely justifying that stat.
To state 125 years, I feel like you've brought that out as a fact, but you've still started it with arguably.
Because I saw somebody said it online, but you can never believe anything that you read online, can you?
Okay.
I saw somebody put people claiming that it's the hottest summer in 125 years. I like to think of it as the coolest summer in the next 125 years. And I thought that's pretty good. Global warming, is it real, is it not?
Let us know down below.
It's definitely real. It's definitely a thing. Today we're going to be talking about music festivals because I don't know if you guys know this or not. If you follow us on social media, you may already know this, but all three of us are going to be in attendance at Reading Festival this year.
We are indeed.
And we are going to do a happy hour meet-up.
Yes, we are.
One rule, you have to bring alcohol for us to consume.
That's it, yeah.
That's like ticket prices instead.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say £10 on the door as well, but it's just...
No, you don't really have to bring us anything, but if you are going to bring us alcohol, let's just say that's your prerogative. Sorry, not provocative.
Prerogative.
So I can't speak. I've had a couple of dark fruits.
Sealed cans only, please.
Yeah, sealed cans only. And if you are going to spike us, my preferred drugs are speed and ecstasy. No, I'm
That's
joking.
it. There you go.
If you're going to be at Reading, let us know. We will be tweeting and giving information on where we're going to be as the festival draws closer. I don't think Reading tickets are still available, but Leeds tickets are still available.
As always.
So head over and grab Leeds. Does that mean Reading is a better festival than Leeds? Debatable.
Weather is.
The weather is often better because it's more southern.
That's it. We get sunshine. I don't know
why we
go northern.
Yeah.
Bloody southern, isn't it?
But southerners get all sunshine. We get rain and farmland and dales. I don't know. You know what I mean? Gotta love Sheffield.
If you are watching this on YouTube with your eyes rather than with your ears, I'm dressed like this because I thought it'd be a bit festival-like. I've got a bit of a shit shirt on. I've got my sunnies on. I'm going to take the sunnies off now because it is pitch black in here pretty much. Right, guys, let's kick this off with what is the best festival you've ever been to? Stevie, I know you're a bit of a novice, so you may have to sit this one out.
Yes, I'm coming in from the same way I came into this podcast, really, about not knowing much about YouTube, and we're going to talk about YouTubers. Festivals have got the same situation. I've been to one ever. Whether you can call it, you can call it a festival, it's Boardmasters. It's quite big.
I've been.
You've been to Boardmasters?
I've wanted to do that one. I love Cornwall.
I'd love to say it's lovely.
Oh.
Rained the whole time. Apparently, it was the first time it had rained in years of the festival, and I was caught in that. So.
Wow.
But overall, lovely. You could see the beach, like the surrounding areas. It's really nice.
It's a very picturesque festival.
Yes.
Who was headlining?
The Chemical Brothers.
Nice.
George Ezra.
Was this the 1980s?
George Ezra, Catfish and the Bottom Men.
Big
did you go to the Old J year?
I can't remember who was headlining when I went.
Old J. Quality.
I will probably talk about this a bit later on, but I got employed to do a show called Fest Date. I had to host. Sorry, this is the ciders coming out at me right now. But I had to host a 6-part series in which we go around 6 UK festivals, and I have to find a guy and a girl, or a guy and a guy, whatever, that want to date, and that was on the list. A quick story about Boardmasters, which I hadn't even thought of. I had my worst ever, and I'm not saying this to hype it up for podcast, but genuinely, I always put this down as my number one.
This is a clip.
My worst ever hangover at that festival. I have never been more hungover in my life. We went out in Cornwall the night before. There was me and Tom Norris, who people may know from the old podcast, good friend of mine, and Jack Joy and a few other people, and we went out. There was a boat in Cornwall, which is like a bar. It's not like a boat party, it's just like a boat they've turned into a pub. And I went out, drank a lot of Stella, and I'm not a beer drinker really, but I was drinking Stella that night. Got back to the tent at 5 a.m. Work was due at 7. Didn't sleep till 6:30.
Oh.
So my head's hit the soil. Obviously, there's a thin layer of tent between that.
Yeah.
Fall asleep. Next thing I know, Jack, wake up. I was like, mate, I've literally just closed my eyes. I don't know what's going on. It was boiling hot, and I had to go up to girls that day and ask them if they wanted a date. And I remember, and I'm pretty sure I can find footage of this, so I may be able to post it if enough people want it. But that was the most attractive girl we got, was at Boardmasters. Like very thin, beautiful, blonde haired, like proper like stunner. And I remember I was so hungover that there was like a marketplace outside the festival, and I just laid down in the middle of the floor in the concrete, and people were like walking past me, and I was trying to be a professional at this point because like there was a camera crew there and a production fucking crew. I don't know what to call them, but I was just laying down because my head was so spinning. I didn't know what I was doing. Then they were like, Jack, get up, you've got to now ask some girl if she wants to date. And I just remember going up to this like blonde girl and just being like, and I was stinking, sweating, like I had 1 hour sleep. I just went up to her and went, excuse me, are you looking for a date? And she just looked at me up and down and went, not really. I went, it's not for me. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then she ended up going on a date. Yeah, so I got absolutely mugged off. But that was the worst hangover of my life, and I never want to go back there. Not back to Cornwall, back in that dark place.
That's it.
What's your best festival?
Reading.
Yeah?
Yeah. Specifically year or just festival 2015, mate.
Who was there?
Metallica.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big Metallica fan, big heavy metal fan.
Just one of the best, the best live act I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, I bet they're one of the kind of bands that do like a massive set.
Yeah, they played like 2 hours, and it was absolutely insane.
2 hours? I thought that would have been more than that.
It's because it's a festival, isn't it? I think if they were headlining their own sort of like show, then it would have been longer. But it was just phenomenal, and there was casualties.
Casualties?
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant, man. So basically,
don't just skim over that. Some people died anyway. Their best track was number 7.
He hasn't, though. He's got some people died. Bloody brilliant.
Casualties don't mean fatalities, though.
No, but he probably wish he was. Nah. So basically, we were at the front, yeah. And I was there with my mate Jordan. Just to picture Jordan, he's like 6'3", brick shit house.
Were
right?
you on your own?
Yeah, it's as big of
There's a lot of mirrors.
Jordan and Jordan.
Yeah, me and my friend Jordan, separate Jordan, different Jordan, not me.
Inner Jordan, they call him.
That's it, my conscious. No, So yeah, we were at the front, and Metallica towards the end, they shoot, like bands, they shoot off all the streamers and stuff. They shot these massive like Metallica like yoga balls, like exercise balls, and they all landed and stuff.
They're quite heavy, them.
Yeah. Well, basically, 2 dropped nearby, and this pit opened up. And you see online the videos all the time. It never fucking works. When 2 people with the big fitness balls run into each other, it always ends in
one of them goes flying.
Absolutely. So this pit opened up, and this lad behind us, he was probably about 16, and then this other guy on the opposite side, they locked eyes, and everyone could tell what was about to happen, right? So this lad goes to run, and my mate Jordan gives him a bit of a boost. He shoves him, and he loses his footing, and so as he's running, he's like stumbling, and he loses like the line, and basically what he does is he completely crumbles as he gets to this other guy, and just his face just crunches into this guy's shoulder.
Oh.
And he just gets up all days. His face is pissing with blood. This is actually on the vlog I did at Reading 2015. Pissing with blood. And he just turns around and just went, I lost my ball. He's just like crying his heart out because his face is fucked, mate. Like he's gonna have facial reconstructive
Don't worry about
surgery.
Your ball. Worry about your 2 front teeth.
Yeah,
You can't.
exactly.
They're in the
and he
dirt.
was just so worried about this ball. But yeah, Metallica definitely was the best thing I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that was going to be one of my later questions, like who's the best like sort of headliner you've seen? I think mine would probably. And I can't claim to be like the biggest fan of this person, but probably be Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so. I saw him at, I've seen him a few times. I think I've seen him 3 or 4 times. And the most recent time I saw him was Coachella. I went to Coachella last year, which, I mean, if you line up a list of YouTubers and you had to vote who you think would be the most likely to go to Coachella, I'm very aware that I would be in the bottom bracket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of Will and E's first ever videos before he got any kind of notoriety or any kind of like viewers, he put up 2 pictures, and then there's one of me before my old jaw, and then he was like, what you expect to see from Coachella, and it was Joe Sugg looking all beautiful and chiseled, and then there was what you expect to see from Leeds Festival, and it's just me with a massive underbite, probably eating like a cheese toasty or something.
And that is the most true thing.
It's true, but last year I decided to go. I was already in America at the time, so I thought, why not just fucking go see what it's all about. Saw Eminem there. And I know this isn't a reflection of the fucking mass population of America, but this was the small demographic that I saw. I'll get on later on why it was a terrible festival, but we was watching Eminem and he brought out Dr. Dre, which was incredible.
Yep.
And 50 Cent was out as well. And it went, California, you know that song, Time to Party, like that. And then and we're in California. So I'm looking at my cousin like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then this group of American kids just went, turned around and walked off. What? And I was like, I get if you don't like Eminem, but 1, why are you already here?
Yeah.
And 2, why is that the point that's made you go, shit?
Yeah.
They despise California.
If Eminem started going like, I could be lonesome, I'll be a little bit shy. Just started doing like Mika.
Would you go for Mika?
Well,
all the things you could have pulled
polar
out.
opposites.
Yeah, that's what would make me go, I've had enough of this.
This isn't what I
Trying
expected.
to be like Grace Kelly. Dr. Dre comes, ooh, 50 Cent, but all my looks were too bad.
That would make me stay. That would make me stay. No, not because of that, but like, imagine going to see Eminem and that's what you couldn't miss that.
If he's doing jazz hands. So I try, little Freddie. I want Dr. Dre and 50 Cent just to harmonise the That's got to happen now.
Christ.
But yeah, no, we were in California, they dropped California and people walked off. I may as well just go into why I don't like
Go on.
Coachella.
Do a rant.
Yeah.
Do a Jackmate rant.
It was imagine this, yeah? Imagine if you got every single Instagram influencer in the world, you have to have 100k at least, otherwise you're not really an influencer. Not my rules, theirs. And you put them in a big pen, and then you put the heat above them, so they're all getting nicely bronzed. How do you get bronzed? You wear less clothes. They stood there, these American people. I'm sure there was a lot of Brits as well, but like the worst kind of people. And they're just taking selfies, just constantly.
Yeah.
If you want to drink, yeah, you can drink there, but you've got to do it at a pen at the back of the festival. There's designated drinking zones.
What?
You can't take your beers out to the main stage. No, that's mental. Like, that's
Why?
I have no idea. I got Stevie, you can do the maths on this. I got a
Here we go.
2/3 pint of Heineken. It was $14.
What? So it would have cost $21 a pint,
For a pint of Heineken. Yep.
which at the moment is probably about 18 quid.
Oh yes, $21 for a pint. Also, are you tipping? Are you tipping there?
I assume you have to.
Yeah. Well, if you don't tip, they look at you like you're a mug. I am the mug. I'm paying $21 for a Heineken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my
crazy.
fucking God.
Yeah.
Why are they in 2/3?
Because there was just 2 thin little glasses. You'd see the 2/3 written on it.
That's grim.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It was horrible. There was a dance tent one night, which was really good, and that actually felt like being back at home. Really, everyone got a bit nuts in the dance
Yeah.
tent, and it was like there must have been about 300 people there because the Americans were like, "Oh my God, I'm not going to go and get sweaty to that." It's fucking nuts.
They're in
mate.
their thousands,
Oh,
just
man.
standing still.
Yeah, they're like they wear like this. Obviously, sounds like the dream to all the single guys and possibly gals out there, but there's very little clothes.
Yeah.
There, like they'll wear like they will wear mental shit, like shit you don't even comprehend people would wear. Like you know them daisy chains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen someone wear one of them as underwear.
What?
That sounds
I know.
like a dream, mate.
That just sounds like thrush waiting to happen, doesn't it? Like that is mental. I don't know how you get thrush.
Daisies, apparently.
Yeah,
Stop rubbing daisies on your vagina.
It's more yeast based, I believe.
I like to think there's some girl out there watching this going, "Oh, it's daisies." Is it?
She's like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh dear. Get
These will
back.
go on Nan's grave. We'll make use of them.
Jesus, that's the Vagisil brand deal gone. Fucking
Like we
hell.
ever had one. What's the worst festival you've ever been to?
Leeds Festival.
Oh.
Wait, 2013 wasn't their fault.
Right, weather.
Weather. Washout.
Yeah.
Fucking washout, mate. Disgusting.
what's-
To the point of just everything is saturated. The floor is just churned up. I get you. Oh yeah, it's a festival. Like to me, there's no in between.
No.
You either have churned up, damp, wet, horrible, fucking 10 foot of mud, right? Or you have hot, sunny dust bowl. If you're in the pitch, you come out, you got all mud in your teeth, you got black bogies and that, like from all the dirt.
You get them on the tube anyway, so it don't really matter.
This is true. But yeah, and I've never been to a festival that's been anything other than those two. But yeah, Leeds Festival 2013, the weather was a disgrace. And it's just like, like you're seeing Green Day or whatever, obviously amazing quality, but you're damp. And you're wet and you're damp.
I'm going to play devil's advocate to that. Oof. I know you just basically summed it up yourself, and I know that weather can make or break a festival, but I feel like if it's pissing down, sometimes you can embrace that and go, look, we're all in by this point. I hate if it's drizzly. If it's sunny and it's drizzly, and then then the mud churns up, and then it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm getting from this festival. So it is pretty much what you said about one or the other. Yeah. But if it's just like a fucking whitewash, like coming down, I find that that's when Britain usually unites and they go, fuck it, like we're here. I didn't go to Glastonbury this year. I can't claim to be the biggest fan of Stormzy, but I love the message that he portrayed, and I wish I was there. That's one act, that's one show that I wish I was part of, because it felt like something bigger than a music festival. Yeah. And it seemed like that was raining at the time. I could be wrong. I might have mixed it up with something else, but I think it was raining. And I just felt like everyone got together, and you're kind of all in this boat, like, we're all fucking soaked. Who cares? You know what I mean? So sometimes it can have that kind of...
But it doesn't mean I want to be soaked going into it. Do you know what I mean?
True. If given the option...
Dry or wet.
Take that. But
it's also like when you go back to your tent, which should be like your safe haven from the weather, and there's a puddle in there.
But that's when you got to invest, Jordan. You got to invest in a better tent.
Because you listen. That you can read it in the instructions on these tents. The whole like double layered, waterproof. It's only for so much penetration. Yeah, and then when it's in,
up your MMs, mate. Up your MMs. The higher the MMs, you're not
like a thick fucking like.
That's what I do, mate. Really? That's what I do. Do you know how the MMs work? Don't you?
Well, are we talking millimeters?
It's literally millimeters. Right,
yeah.
That's. I asked the guy in Go Outdoors. Every year I go outdoors to get a new one, and
someone's earning.
I only get the pop-ups, but I get the decent pop-ups. The MMs, say it's like 250 MMs, it's literally that tent will withstand 250 millimeters of water before it starts to seep through.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. But you were saying there about not liking the rain. I'm a ginger. I'm sunstroke prone. I'm hay fever prone. The summer does not bode well with me. Yeah. We drive down the Gaza Strip to get to this podcast.
We do, it's true. It's true.
And I mean, we were driving down there today and I was getting 3rd-degree burns and I was in the shade. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
with aircon on.
I am so wet right now. Like,
yeah. You could just wring that shirt out. Like.
I'm a liquid man. But I went to Reading. No, I went to V Festival. We all make mistakes.
That's it. That's my first ever festival, V Festival 2010.
Exactly. That's like, when someone has their first beer and they start acting up Larry online, you go, yeah, I remember my first beer.
Yeah,
that's what that is. Yeah. That's the festival version of that. Like, people sling piss.
Is V Fest still a thing? That's ended, hasn't it?
Has it finished?
After 20 years. It's now a Rise Festival.
Got it.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. I knew it ended.
If you want to be covered in piss,
they do just like piss.
Go to V.
Yeah,
it's just full of. I'm gonna piss off the sort of city, county. I don't know what it is, but whatever Chelmsford
is. Essex, isn't it?
I am so sorry, but I'm sure there's a lot of lovely people there. But there are some of the biggest chavs walking around.
It's a chav fest.
Imagine Alex from Glasgow.
Yeah,
he's had 4 years worth of ket.
Yeah.
Right? So he's 19 now. Yeah. He's strutting about. He's starting to key people. And you know what I mean? He's starting to spit in the face of not Alex. I'm just saying that kind of time.
Yeah.
There's no getting out of this. I've already kind of mugged him up.
Yeah,
he seems like a lovely guy, but he's like that carbon copy of like you see them all around the festivals.
Absolutely, yeah. Like there's no doubt in my mind when he got up on that stage. Yeah, there was probably about 3 grams worth of pills in that fucking fanny pack on his chest. Everyone knew it, but no one wanted to say it.
I imagine the scrunched up Rizzlers in his wallet. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but no, nothing against him. But like I remember walking around V Festival. You'd see people that look like him. They got the man bags. I know there's a lot of chavs out there who are some of the loveliest people I've ever met, and I'm not trying to backtrack because I do think the majority of them are cunts. But but like they're the kind of people that will come up to you. They see you in a floral shirt because you're at the festival. You're letting your hair down, and they call you like a faggot or something.
Yeah, it's just
And at V Festival, that was more rife than any festival I've ever done. And the piss, mate, slinging piss.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when V Festival slung all that piss at Cher Lloyd when she was on the stage.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing making videos slagging her off.
That's how you got where you are.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to criticise the music. It was shit. But
It was.
why are you going to a gig, like her set, if you're going to throw
Yeah.
piss at her? If you don't like her, don't go.
Yeah, that's
Don't
fair.
go to,
that's true.
That is bullying.
I've got to
Yeah,
say, the
yeah,
weird
yeah.
thing about Boardmasters, rather than chavs, you got a load of Welsh people.
Well,
No issue.
That's a large demographic.
No,
Stevie Big.
no. This is what you got though. This
Lot
is
of
the
love
weird
for the
thing.
Welsh. Lot of love for
I'm
the
in
Welsh.
Wales all the time. I fucking love Wales. But so Cornwall's obviously it's not close to Wales, but if you're going to go, we're from Norwich, so you're very close to Wales in comparison. You walk around this festival, tents everywhere. The only people you know who have specific tents where they're from is the Welsh. They have Welsh flags outside their
Yeah,
tents because
yeah,
they need
but-
to let you know they're Welsh. The reason I bring this up,
Be careful.
we were walking just back towards our tent. Group of 6 lads come up to us and go, "You guys from Wales?" In a Welsh accent. I can't do accents. I'm not going to try. They go, "You from Wales?"
Are you from Wales?
They say that, and we go,
Have you ever watched Ratatouille in a caravan?
"Fuck's sake." But they just go, "Are you guys from Wales?" And we go, "No." And he goes, "Fuck off then." Like, you're in England. Don't say it to me here.
Then you start getting all Tommy Robinson on them. You're in our country. You're in my country now.
Oh,
fucking love Wales, but I get it all the time.
So I know you've never been to Reading, have you?
No.
Yeah, there is a heavy Welsh presence. So
I'll see the fucking flags, I'm sure.
Just from me and Jack, we love Wales, but Stevie, you're a lost cause at this point.
I go to Wales weekly.
If you are from Wales and you've got any spare acid you'd like to throw in the face of someone, don't choose us.
Yeah.
me.
That's where I was going, but I thought someone out there might actually do it.
Yeah, don't,
Can I
please.
just say, as a disclaimer, if you ever in your life get acid thrown in your face, can I not be held
Okay, look,
accountable?
Yeah.
anyone who's thinking about doing it, I'm already dealing with this. Don't make it worse.
Yeah, go for Jordan. He's still got looks. So
You're such a cunt.
that was all right. That's all right. That was about him. As soon as that's too far. That's too far.
Let's move forward
Right,
from
sorry.
best
Right, no.
festival.
Wait.
Please don't throw acid at anyone.
Yeah.
Ever.
If
All
you,
right?
yeah, obviously, I feel like that's such obviously like that's so obviously a joke that doesn't need a disclaimer.
Yeah,
Do
but
you know what I mean?
there's some hardcore fans out there, mate. Do you know what I mean? They're like,
The Sun probably will run an article saying YouTuber Jack Mate encourages fans to throw acid in
Yeah.
face of Stevie. He's my mate, and that's why I want it to happen.
He would have done it already. Let's
dude.
move forward.
Yes, I will. But
Yeah.
before we do that, before we digress, I want to just make a point.
right?
We were talking about weather and the goods and the bads
Yeah.
of it, the pros and cons.
And the ugly.
One of the negative about the sun is V Festival 2014, 2015. I got sunburn to an extent that no one has ever seen in this room. I can tell you now.
I'm not remotely surprised at
30
you.
degrees.
Obviously, being yeah.
The actual 30
Yeah,
degrees.
honestly, mate. Like I went to the first aid tent, right? So I was one day I took my t-shirt off, and I'm a lanky fucking string of piss. So I was in this crowd, and I couldn't leave. I think we was watching Plan B. Serves me right, really. But I had my t-shirt off, and I could feel my skin bubbling. Right, I could feel it
What
burning.
in the fuck?
But I thought, nah, right. So I borrowed my mate's t-shirt at the time. So I put my t-shirt on. Went back to the
Sunburn.
to the campsite. I think Biffy Clyro were on, maybe.
Nice.
And I didn't go watch them because I felt really ill. So
Right.
I just went to bed. Next morning, I woke up. Same morning, it's probably next afternoon. Came out of my tent. My dad touched me, like patted me on the shoulder. I went with my dad a couple of times. And he touched me on the shoulder, and I just freaked out. I was like, "Don't touch me there!" Took my top off, and like. I'm going to have to explain this in graphic detail, so if you are of a nervous disposition, do just disposition.
Disposition.
that's-
How
yeah,
bad is this going to be?
I can't say words.
At the best of
Right,
times.
Yeah.
So audio listeners skip 15.
Yeah, skip about a minute now. But my skin had started to pus, but it hadn't broken the top layer of skin.
Oh, so
Right?
it's below-
So it had just filled with pus, and I shit you not. Imagine a sausage, right? Cut it in half,
Yeah.
grab one of the half, and stick it to yourself. I had these sausage-like sacs
Yeah.
growing on my chest.
Yeah.
And then, like, they were orange, bright orange. It looked like I was filled with sort of like
Your
Lucozade.
Skin was literally bubbling.
Bubbling, yeah. And I got a key, and I just touched one ever so slightly. I don't know how it didn't happen when I took my t-shirt off, but I touched it, and I just was covered in like this orange, sticky, gloopy Lucozade stuff.
That's rank.
And then I went to bed that night. I was all sticky, dirty. Ended up finishing the festival, 2 weeks later, I then went to Reading Festival. But between that time, that's when I had to deal with what's it called? Like
Scabbing
out and stuff like that. I remember I got home, went in the bath, and I just said to my sister, my mum was out, I was like, look, I'm just going to have to fucking bear with me for a second. Put my sort of open wounds in the bath, and I was just like, fuck! And it was the worst thing ever. But I'll tell you the worst thing wasn't the pain. That night, it was the itchiness, mate. I have never experienced itchiness like that. I remember just laying there, just scratching my chest. Just felt like
skin peeling off.
I just felt like a werewolf going through that transition.
Yeah, that is horrendous.
That was horrible. But anyway, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break there because we are 28 minutes into this podcast and it's very, very hot. So we're going to go outside, get some air, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about our ideal festival lineups. We're going to be talking about more embarrassing festival stories and stuff like that. So come back in a sec. Cheers. Hello guys and welcome back to Jack Mate's Happy Hour. As you heard before the break, we were going to take a little break just to cool down.
Hasn't helped.
Didn't help. We, myself and Stevie were just being vlogged by Jordan as we did keepy ups.
Yeah. I won.
It's not as competition. It's not always competition because if we're going to go down that route and we're playing the competition of life, then I'm far beating you. So
you don't have a job like me.
Oh,
yeah,
dear.
true.
But yeah, go check out the vlog. It's up already.
Yeah, you don't. I don't work for the Queen, so you're obviously better than me in that regard.
That's it.
So yeah, please do ignore if you are watching this on YouTube. You're a poor fucker because you've got to look at these beads of sweat trickling down my cheeks.
I am literally pouring.
I feel worse now.
Yeah.
Than I did when I started.
Stupid. Yeah. Why did we play football?
Yeah.
Because we're idiots.
That's it.
Let's carry on.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's carry on. What is the most embarrassing / worst thing you've seen at a festival? Jordan, you are the seasoned pro when it comes to festivals. I guess.
I've been to a few.
I reckon I've been to more than you.
Probably.
But I feel like you've done more things while you're there.
Yeah, and I've kind of based more content and shit around it.
Yeah.
Although literally this week I said I'm never going to do festival content again.
And here you are.
And then you just text me, oh, by the way, festival podcast this week.
And in many ways, festival content is a bit like cancer. When it comes back the second time, it's worse.
That's it. I was in remission for 4 days.
So that's what you're not going to start doing daily festival content on your channel.
Oh, dear. But the worst thing I think I've ever seen, right? It started out so noble.
Right.
So imagine, you'd know, Jack, you're walking towards the Radio 1 tent, right? There's obviously a nice little expanse of Greenland where everyone's walking through. And I see a girl on the floor, and I'm like, that ain't right. Is she all right? We go over, we help her up. She was just fucked. Right? Help her up, and there's liquid shit streaming down her leg.
You're having a laugh.
No. She had like denim, like festival girls do, like short denim shorts.
Where the shorts stop way before the labia does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You literally, you just like, is that a bit of lip? And then and it is. But yeah, so we help her up, and as she stands up, just this liquid poo just goes down her leg, and then we sort of backed off after that.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Do you know if she was all right?
She just wandered off with her friend to the first aid tent, I hope, because I think she had dysentery. But yeah, that's like, isn't that? That's just where you poo and poo and poo till you die, basically. but no. So it weren't great.
So she's no longer with us.
Maybe not. And what a way to go.
Shit. Oh. That is literally a shit situation.
It is, but tush.
I feel for her.
The worst thing I saw was very shitty as well.
Right.
There's a thing.
Mine was really annoying for Boardmasters. We got there quite late on the Friday. So obviously people had already started camping and whatnot on the Thursday. You get there late, you're looking for a fucking spot to go with your tent. And we searched for about an hour, I think it took us to find a place. Started pouring with rain as we were trying to find a place. We had to go right near these portaloos, probably about 40 feet from them. So it's not right next to it, but you could, as soon as you come out, great in the mornings when you need a morning wee, but not so good at 4 a.m. when a load of lads decided to prank their friend who was a girl and tip it over while she was in it.
What?
Screaming. It was the most vile thing.
Like, listen, I get like pranks and banter and shit, but that's just evil.
That's made Logan Paul's little Japanese trip seem all right.
Jeez.
Honestly, crawled out like... oh my God, the stench like in that
Yeah.
whole campsite was disgusting. It was just
Yeah.
shit everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
Was it Ben Phillips? Did Elliot come out and go, prank, bro?
what are you doing?
dear.
But yeah, they cleaned it quite quick, which was quite good of the people running Boardmasters. But who does that? Like, people worry about going to festivals anyway for the disgusting side.
Yeah.
Portaloos are a bit rank. They can be all right. And where I was, because we were a bit out of the way, they were all right.
Yeah.
Until
See-
it gets tipped onto the floor.
Portaloos are all right. It's those toilets that are like metal grating steps up into like just 4 steel walls.
Yeah.
I've seen some sights, man. Like I've seen poo on the floor, the walls, the roof somehow. Have you heard the rumor? I don't know, or a myth. There's like this legend, this festival legend.
Do we know what festival?
I believe it's Reading Festival actually. Right?
Go on.
Where apparently a girl.
Can I just say this never happened? I don't even know what it is. Already. it's
In
never-
advance.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Right, listen. This is spoken in whispers,
Right.
between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m.
Tongue.
in Orange Camp, right?
Right,
No, but
okay.
basically, now apparently this girl dropped her phone down the toilet into the silage pit, which probably happens. Probably a lot of people do that. By the way, if you haven't been, these toilets, imagine metal grating up. Steps,
Little
metal grating
elevated
steps,
platform,
yeah,
isn't there?
into just a row of steel containers, toilets, hole in the floor basically, and you all just shit and piss into this massive silage pit.
It's like a paddling pool full of feces and piss.
Yeah.
And
Well,
sanitary
apparently
products.
this girl dropped her phone. I believe it was an iPhone, right? Not that matters.
No. But you're not going in there for a Huawei, are you?
Well, my Huawei's all right. My Huawei's all right. And she fell in.
Did she?
So she fell into the silage pit.
How's she
and
come through that
apparently, listen, she was slender. And
Is she a
apparently,
borrower?
and apparently, a young gentleman was having a wee.
Fuck off.
He looks down. He just sees a pair of eyes looking up at him. Do you know what I mean? Because she's down there. She's stuck.
Wow. Last night I went for a walk at midnight and I shone my light in a bush and saw 2 eyes looking back at me. It was a deer. That scared me enough. I can't imagine what would happen if I was having a shit and I looked down and there was some 4 foot fucking nothing Essex gal going, oh my God, you got a massive ass. I don't know what she'd say.
That's what she'd say. She's covered in shit and she just cares about the size
dear.
of your ass.
To be honest, as I said
also
that,
confirms that Jack gets pegged.
as I said that, I realised I didn't want to say it, but I was in too deep. This heat and the 3 Strongbows have got me a little bit delirious.
That's
what
it.
it is.
Oh,
But
my goodness.
what was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah. My friend, who I'm not going to name, and I realise that makes it sound like this is me, but I can promise you it's a friend. If it was me, I'd take pride in this story and I'd fully own it. But apparently, my friend said one year he went to a festival. I actually think it was the year I went with him, but that's besides the point.
So it was you.
I swear I was there when it happened.
It happened in my tent and no one else was there. But apparently he's got like this social anxiety where he can't poo in toilets that are not his own.
Yeah, I've got a few mates that take, I can't remember what it is, obviously the anti-laxative, so they don't shit during the festival. I don't know. I don't listen, right? Let me just, sorry to interrupt, right? Go into these toilets, yeah? Baby wipes around the toilet seat, or you can actually get seat covers, right? In like Poundland and fucking garden centres and that. Listen. It's not that bad. Pinch your nose and have a shit, man. Don't fucking not shit for 6 days.
I know, I've waited. The longest I've waited, the first time I went to a festival, I didn't shit because I was too nervous. But I'm different now. As I've grown older,
Changed man.
I've matured.
care.
I've worked on it.
That's
I've worked,
it, yeah.
When I did that week in the Big Brother house, I didn't shit once.
What?
I still don't know to this day how I did it, and I'm still pretty certain that I've got some problems inside. Based on that.
Just got your big brother shit still inside you.
Yeah, that was disgusting. I've kind of lost.
Sorry, your mate's story. That's my fault.
Oh yeah, so my mate's like gone to the festival. He's been there a couple of days and he needs a poo and he hasn't had one. So apparently he waited until 4 a.m. and he got the you know the thing when you roll your tent up and you put it in that little case.
The sleeve,
Yeah.
yeah.
The sleeve for your tent. He got that and he put it over his arse and he squatted in the tent, shat in it,
Nice.
tied a knot in it, and just went and just
Yeah.
like flung it like a cowboy flinging a
Lasso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that, just in the distance.
Fair play.
That is
I did
fucking
something
right.
similar at V-Fest.
You done
That's
it?
fair, yeah. My
Oh.
mate was in the tent.
Not remotely surprised with Jordan.
Yeah.
You
doing
had
this
to do it in
shit.
front of your mate?
Nah, he was asleep. So basically, now it was the last night. It was the last night.
When you say mate, do you mean female friend? And when you say tent, do you mean Ben and Jerry's?
And this
Nah,
is
but
why,
it was a geezer.
in advance, this story is about to tell us why we've decided to get separate tents.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Nah, so basically what happened was it was the last night of V-Fest 2010, and basically it was absolutely pissing down, and I really needed a poo,
Right.
and I didn't want to walk to the toilets. So I can't remember what the fuck I took in it, but I had an ice cream tub in the and
Why is it always ice
oh,
cream
shit,
with
ice
you?
cream. Yeah, I don't even think Ben and Jerry's was a big company then. We're probably talking like
Was it a Neapolitan ice cream?
Probably, yeah, probably.
You'd already
Probably a
eaten the
Ne-
chocolate bit and you thought, I'll just replenish this.
yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna. So my mate he had his back to me. It was a spacious tent, and I was just sort of like, I'll be all right. So yeah, I took a shit in the ice cream tub in the tent, and then I sealed it up and I put it just outside the tent. And
Get
then
rid of it.
Wait, and then went back to sleep. And then in the morning, as everyone was leaving, I just booted it.
Oh, that is rang.
I was 16.
Put it up and pick it up and put it in the bin.
You vile cunt.
Actually, go back now. Find
Back
it.
to Chelmsford.
Yeah.
Okay, can we move on to something a bit more positive after all of this?
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about what makes a festival good.
Okay.
What are the best things about
The camp.
festivals?
I think there's no way of saying this without sounding like an absolute Tory.
Oh.
But I think the best thing about Reading
Oh God.
is that
Jack?
we.
Don't do it, mate. I know you're.
I know you've never done it. I know you're a
Yeah.
man of the people until now.
Until
you
now.
met me, until you come into my life. But if you want, we can
God.
get a bit deep on the topic and talk about like what we were talking about in the car
can-
on the way up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. If you want.
because this is the kind of thing that when I say this out loud, I'm going to realise that I'm usually the kind of person that goes against this thing. But Reading Festival, I did Reading Festival as a punter,
Yeah.
for lack of a better phrase, like
Yeah.
for many years, and much like you've said on the podcast before, like you go through this stage where people start recognising you.
Yeah.
Because what we're not thinking, I'm not sitting here saying everyone recognises me all the time. I can walk through Norwich one day, like I can be in Norwich city centre for a whole weekend and I probably won't get recognised. Like, it's not a big deal. But when you go to a festival, it's full of people who are the perfect demographic for your channel, who aren't necessarily from the same city as you. So
Yeah.
when they see you, it's not just like, oh, that's that ginger prick again that we saw last
Yeah.
weekend. It's like, oh, that's him. Like,
Yeah.
and there's alcohol involved, so they've got that Dutch courage. They're
Yeah.
more likely to come up to you and ask you to.
Quite courageous to talk
Yeah.
to you.
No, but I mean, like, if I
No,
saw a
yeah.
celebrity,
I know what you
out
mean.
of pride and ego,
You wouldn't do it.
I'm not going to ask him for a picture. I was in the guest area of Reading 2-3 years ago, and I bumped into Super Vet. And I love Super Vet. And I went up to him and I asked him for a picture. And I wouldn't have done that normally.
That's the most Tory thing you've said so far. Oh, I love Super Vet.
How can you not like the Super Vet?
never seen
He's
it.
like a vet, but super.
Oh, in that
Yeah.
case.
And I remember,
No,
I'll
absolutely.
digress quickly, but I saw Aaron Ramsey and Oxlade-Chamberlain in there and a lot of the Arsenal team, and I went up to Aaron Ramsey. Was it Ramsey? Yeah, I think I went up to Ramsey. Might not have been Ramsey, so don't sue me, but I'm pretty sure it was. And I asked him for a picture, and he just looked at me and went, I'm at a festival, mate. And I went, fair enough.
That's why you moved to Juventus.
Yeah.
Get away from the
But
likes of you.
But this is what I'm getting at. I would never
Yeah.
say no to someone for a photo, and I actually enjoy meeting people and stuff. But again, it sounds Tory. Let me off. And when I say Tory, I'm not. I don't actually care if someone's a Tory. Like, this
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
People will message me now and go, oh, you're so ill-informed. I'm just using it as a meme now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know what kind of merch Ollie's selling now, but I'm still going to call it shit. That's just my joke. That's my
Yeah,
channel,
yeah.
right? So when I say Tory, I just mean it in a loose term, like a bit stuck up. I kind of started like looking forward to the festival all year. I'd go, and then it'd be one after the other. And that's not me taking it for granted.
Yep.
I go to somewhere in the city, and without blowing my own trumpet, I'll stand outside all weekend long taking pictures. That's what I'm there for, to
Yeah.
give back.
Yeah.
When I go to a music festival, I sometimes just want to enjoy the music.
100%.
That means even if you guys see me like at the festival this year, you can come up to me and chat to me, and we'll have a good time, and there will be no part of me that's disliking it. I will tell you if I'm like, guys, can I just shoot off? I want to see this band.
Yeah.
And it got so much that I started going guest area,
Yeah.
just camping, because you know what it's like if you're trying to camp and people are coming to your camp.
100%. Last year was very eye-opening. And I hate talking about it because I feel like an arsehole.
You'll sound like a dick. You will, but I get what you mean.
Like, I'm getting shit now because I'm going VIP with yourself or guest area, whatever you want to call it. I'm getting shit from a lot of people for it. And there's no easy way to say it, so I'm just going to fucking say it, right? You don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay? Last year was amazing, and meeting every single one of you was fucking quality. It really was. But the reality of the situation also was there was easily 1,000 people that come up to me over the course of that weekend. Of course, because my content was very much based in that area. It was Reading Festival, wasn't it? And I had people coming over to the camp constantly throughout the entire day, which was lovely. It was lovely to meet everyone. It really, really was. But at the same time, sometimes, like obviously, I fell in love with festivals because you go there with your mates and it's fucking sick and you're doing drinking games and that. And it got to a point last year, which is why I'm doing guests this year. There's no easy way to say it. I'm only human, guys. I would be like meeting everyone and I'd try to give as much time as I possibly could to everyone. And then I'd sit back down with my mates and here, you know, what are we on, like drinking games, Ring of Fire or whatever. And I'd say, duty. And then that'd be me for another 15 minutes. And then I'd come back and sit, and then duty. And it was just continuous.
You're
and
too
it was
polite,
endless.
like-
And also the Thursday night sesh, what people didn't understand. So I had a meet and greet, which again was fucking mental. Probably 300, 400, 500 people turned up to it. It was insane. You can see it in the video. The amount of people that was there was fucking mental, right? One thing I never, ever anticipated, never thought about, was we did it from 7:30 till about 11:30, I think. And as soon as the sun goes down, when you're taking picture after picture after picture with flash, 250, 300, 400 times, flash, for hours on end, I had the biggest fucking migraine I'd ever experienced. And I was exhausted. I was fucked by about 11 o'clock. And it's just something that you never anticipate.
But it's not just so much the flash, it's the also being switched on. When you're down the pub and you chat to your mates, as much as you like them, there can be a 20-minute period where you'll zone out into the background and let them talk.
Yeah.
There can be a 20-minute period where, and I'm not saying this, I'll never speak to anyone at a meet and greet or a festival otherwise that I don't want to speak to, and I'm not saying it's a fake smile, but you have to be polite. Like, what you need to realise, I'm not saying this thinking I'm a celebrity. Like, I don't, like, but it'd be ignorant of me to say I'm not known.
Yeah.
When somebody who's watched my videos for a number of times, or maybe even not, when somebody that knows me for like, that maybe they saw my video a day before and they recognise me there, right?
Yeah.
They come over, that's their one time of meeting you, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like putting myself on a pedestal, like, oh, how lucky they got that one time. I'm just saying that it's literally,
100%.
they're not going to see me again.
It's like,
so what they get from that little meeting is what they will take away forever.
Yeah.
So if you're a little bit off and you're a little bit like,
mate,
all right, mate, I'm a bit tired. That's what all their friends will think of you forever.
100%, mate. I had it and it upset me because I tried so I consciously, I was like exactly the same, you know, like Kanye says, there's 1,000 yous, there's only one of me. I was like, these people are going to have like their one impression of me is when I meet them, right? And so it has to be spot on because I want everyone to have a good impression of me because I think I'm a good person. I'm not a fucking asshole. Now, regardless of whether you're person number 1, 2, or 3, or whether you're person fucking 999, I think you should get the same experience. But as a human, that's quite hard to maintain. And there was one person, and it really fucking upset me. It was on Instagram. I posted like a picture. This was after the festival, and I remember it. I posted this picture. And I was like, absolutely fucking incredible weekend. Thank you to everyone that came up to me. It was absolutely amazing meeting you all. And this girl just commented saying, dude, he doesn't give a fuck about his fans. And I was like, and it pissed me off because I know how hard I tried. And also, I'm not, how much, like, I sound like such a cunt. I sacrificed having a good time with my mates, drinking games for everyone else. And I was happy to do that. It's not a problem. But I didn't do those things. And for her to turn around and say that, and I was like, I remember you. And so I messaged her. I was like, what's this about? Because I don't remember it being that way. Basically, what it was is we were watching Skindred. This girl was in front and she turned around and so it gave the look of, oh, fuck us you, and then turned back around. And so I didn't think of anything of it. And then at the end of the set, she said, "Oh, you know, can I have a picture?" Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I remember, guys, I was dying for a shit. Right? In my mind, I was like, before she turned around for the second time, I was like, fuck, right.
There was no ice cream vans around.
Yeah. I was like,
go?
where are the toilets, sort of thing. Anyway, she turned around and I was like, I might have been a bit hurried because I was diving, but I was like, yeah, of course, absolutely. We had a photo and that, blah, blah, blah. And then I fucked off to the toilet. And that was the girl that said, I've got no time for my fans and I'm an arsehole. It was like, even though I didn't give you as much time, all right, admittedly, as I maybe gave everyone else.
I've still got basic human
exactly.
instincts.
I needed a fucking shit. And it's just, it's frustrating.
It wasn't you being an arsehole. It was your actual
it was my actual
arsehole.
arsehole, yeah.
So what I'm taking from this from both of you is that James Charles was right in the whole situation. He needed those VIP tickets and Tatty's the bitch.
Yeah, because this is the difference, and I think this could be the closing statement. I'm happy to talk about this as long as we need. This is a festival
special. Can I just
special.
say, though, sorry, just for everything that I've said, if you see us or anything, please don't hesitate to come up and take pictures, because at the same time, it is an amazing thing, especially making videos for people to say, oh, you know, I really enjoyed that stuff. You can't ask for more. It's absolutely fantastic. All it is that I see it as this guest area. It'll give me that opportunity which I really wanted last year, where I could just switch it off for an hour.
An escape.
Yeah,
that's what I mean about this James Charles thing. Like, what was I going to say? So with a festival, like I'm very aware that our viewership and our listenership is a lot older. There's not going to be many people that listen to this and think we're coming from a place of arrogance or anything like that.
No.
I pride myself on being one of the most real YouTubers there can be. But somebody tweeted me the other day. I tweeted a political comment of some sort, and somebody tweeted, just another fucking celebrity tweeting their ill-informed opinions. And I put back, who's a celebrity in this situation? And they said, well, you've got the blue tick, right? And I'm not trying to be like a man of the people. I don't think I'm a celebrity, but there is no way of denying the fact that I am known, right? And that sounds cunty. One of the worst things is people come up to me on a night out. They'll see me have pictures with people. I love going to the waterfront in Norwich because I meet people all the time and I chat, and that's what I like to do. People will come up to me who have seen me have a photo with someone. They'll come up to me and they'll question, who do I think I am? And it's like, mate, I am not going up to anyone and giving any kind of even slight sort of signal that I want them to take a picture of me. Yeah. I will have the picture and I'll enjoy it and it'll be fine. But I don't walk around thinking I'm fucking Johnny Big Bollocks. No. And the difference with what you said about James Charles needing a VIP ticket at Coachella. Yes, he does, because here's that, like I alluded to at the start, if I go to somewhere in the city, you can speak to me as long as you want, right? And you can come up to me. That weekend, I am there to meet you guys. You guys have been supporting me all year long. I'm there to give back. When we go to a music festival, that usually, I know it's a bit different now, but I'm paying for that. Mm-hmm. That's my experience as much as yours. And you guys, as individuals, don't take anything away from that, and you give me this amazing life that I have. But what they sometimes don't realise is it's not just me and you. There's a 100 others or 200 others, and that sounds horrible, but I would love to be able to sit there. In many ways, imagine if there was only 5 people that recognised us. Yeah. We'd stay with them all weekend long.
Absolutely.
There's a guy called Tom Hill from Norwich. I'm pretty sure it's Hill. Is it Hill? Tom
Slaters.
Yeah.
Suits.
Yeah. And a guy that likes the videos, and he served Jordan in a shop the other day. Yeah. I didn't want to go to the waterfront the other weekend, so I was sat in a pub. I bumped into him. He came up to me, said he liked the videos. Sorry. Jesus. Come up to me. Said he liked my videos. Got on with him on a human level. It wasn't a fan, creator kind of level. It was just chatting. I stayed with him all night. Mm-hmm. I left my friends, stayed with him. Because it was like, oh, you're a new person. I enjoyed speaking to people. Yeah. Please don't think I'm saying that I don't enjoy this. I'll give you all the time in the world. Absolutely. But that is one of the main reasons that we are doing this happy hour meet and greet. Yeah. Because we'll fucking meet you. And then we've got that allocated time to meet you. 100%. That's not to say if you see us outside of those times, you can still come over and chat. Yep. But if I seem cold or I seem distant, which is never my intention, I can tell you, as I just said, that is not my intention. No. You may have just caught me while I'm in a rush to get to the bar, or while I'm in a rush to have a piss or something like that. So I do apologise in advance if I'm ever rude to anyone. And this is another thing as well I think you may agree with. I'll get thousands and thousands of comments online over the space of a year saying, oh, he's an arrogant cunt, he's this, he's that, he's whatever. I don't care. You can comment what you want. It does not bother me in the slightest because I am putting on some kind of bravado, some kind of character for YouTube.
Yeah.
If I get 1,000 of them comments, it's water off a duck's back. Literally water at the moment because I'm sweating like a fucking whatever. But if I get one person tweet saying I met Jack mate last night and he was a prick, that cuts me because I'm like, I try not to be, man.
Yeah.
We've had nights out before where
we've had the worst nights out because of it.
where you're like this, like you need to stop speaking to them now, like not in a nasty way, but when I've like ignored you for an hour and you come down to Bristol from Bristol to Norwich once a month and I'll dedicate an hour to someone and you'll be going, what we need to actually hang out as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about having that sort of middle ground. But I think, as I said, our audience are adults, that they understand it. Yeah. This is not coming from a place of, oh, we're one thing and you're another.
No,
we're all the same.
And for what it's worth, they're air quotes fans, whatever you want to call them.
I never say fans.
I don't know, audience, whatever you want to call them, that have supported my career or whatever you want, for the last few years, which now I consider as genuine friends. I don't see them as that anymore. Do you know what I mean? So there is no like us and them or anything like that.
That's why I've got nothing against creators saying fans, but that's why I say viewers. Because it's more for my own mental health as well. Because if I think someone's a fan of me, and this is not me trying to be the white knight as much as it will sound like this, but I'm sure I've said it to you 100 times down the pub. Yeah. If I think there is that divide where I'm the creator and you're the fan, then in my head, I will be the first person to admit I will start to lose it with my ego. I will start to think that I will start to think that I'm above people, and that is not on. No. So I see it as I make the stuff and you watch it. And that's why when I meet people that I watch, I have admiration for them. I will just treat them as a normal person that I have respect for, rather than a fan.
That's one of the biggest things. I've said this to you before. One of the biggest things I've learned from doing the Happy Hour podcast. Right, we've obviously had people on. You guys have had even bigger people on before I was even here, but we've had people on with millions and millions and millions of subscribers, people that I've looked up to, or people that I think of like a fucking like royalty within the career and space I want to occupy. And the thing I've learned, they're just fucking people. That's all. There's nothing special. They're just people like everyone else.
I always say when I meet people and they're like, oh, I can't believe you're in the waterfront. I can't believe you're in Norwich. I say, mate, I'm a scumbag just like you. Like, we are all just absolute scumbags. But I enjoy talking about stuff like this.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I just hope it comes across to these lot listening and watching as it does in my head.
I can say from an outside point of view, you're both cunts. So.
Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to end it there. And we're going to do a part 2 to this music festival special, I guess, because we've been speaking for an hour and we can easily get another hour out of this.
And I'll make a promise to the listeners, I won't let them go on anymore. I'm a celebrity rants.
Shut
You're
up.
Both cunts. You're both cunts.
Irrelevant prick.
Yes. You're just jealous that we're A-listers and you're not.